What's up, guys? I'm here again to talk to you here another night, another talk, and it's going to be great. I'm here to spread some knowledge that I've acquired throughout my daily life. And today, I'm going to be as real as I can to you. Today, I don't have a specific topic, to be honest with you, but I just want to talk, and I just want you to sit back and relax and just hear me talk. And that's going to be a very relaxing talk, and maybe you're watching this at night so you can just watch this before you go to sleep. But as always, I'm going to drop some value, I'm going to drop some knowledge, I'm going to clear some things up inside of your mind. And I want to go back to when I was overweight, when I was going through all these things that you might be going through right now. And it was not a pleasant experience, I can say that with certainty. But yeah, I remember how people treated me. I remember how I was overlooked by everybody. I remember not having real friends. I remember everybody making fun of me. I remember everything. I remember that even some of my relatives uh, were looking me differently because I was, the lazy kid, the fat kid, and yeah, that was my experience growing up, fat and overweight, and lazy and everything. But then I had enough. Then I said to myself that enough is enough, and it's going to sound harsh and sad, but I said to myself that I don't want to end up like my parents because they are overweight and they don't do anything to fix that. And it's quite ironic because I'm a fitness coach and I've changed my body. I've done a 180 uh, turn in my life, and I changed everything. And from that day, I remember the exact day. It was 30th of December 2020. And I remember I was eating some chocolates that we had. And it was a whole box of chocolates. And I ate it all. I ate the whole box of chocolates. And I felt so disgusted that I said, from now on, I'm going to change. I'm tired of being this guy. I'm tired of being the kid that plays video games every single day, all day long. I'm tired of being this useless guy because I felt useless, trust me. I felt that I didn't belong anywhere. I felt so shit every single day, and I decided to change that. It's quite strange because it's been a long time since I've had these thoughts in my mind of my past, but I decided to make this video today. And I know I had, some good years growing up, but I always had this insecurity. I always had this insecurity that I was not enough, that I was not, you know, how I wanted to be, and how I wanted to be seen by others and my family and my relatives. And I was constantly feeling this feeling that I was not good enough. And that's how I grew up. And now I'm trying to change lives, but by what I'm doing right now, by fitness coaching, and not only fitness coaching, but with mindset coaching, because the mindset is the 99% of the work to get there, to have the body of your dreams, and to have the life of your dreams. So I started from that day to try and build my body and lose the weight. And I started to research a bit, watch a few YouTubers here and there, few fitness YouTubers, and I remember seeing their bodies. And I remember thinking to myself that if I could look something like that, half of this guy's physique, half good of this guy's physique. I was watching, I think, Brownie at the time and Jesse James West, and shout out to them. And I thought like this. I was like, if I could look half as good as them, I would be so happy. And I had like a window opposite of my desk, of my computer desk, and it kind of reflected at night. So I would just get up from my chair and see my reflection. And every day I went like this. I lifted up my shirt and I saw the reflection. And every single day I thought to myself that, there's no way I can get there. There's no way I can get there. And I started working out. Keep in mind that I did that. And I started watching some podcasts. I started working on my mindset all of a sudden. I started seeing results from the first month. You can see it right here in the pictures. And I started liking my life. I started being more happy with who I was. And I started being happier with how others viewed me, because they saw that I was changing. They saw that I was doing something good for myself for the first time in my life. Apologies for the cut, but I ran out of storage all of a sudden. I don't know. Um, I'm recording this in 4K on my iPhone. I don't even know. It takes so much space, and yeah. And let's continue. As I said, I was doing something good for the first time in my life, and others saw it and respected me more and started treating me differently. And as I said, I started living for the first time in my life. I felt like life was worth living. But don't get me wrong, it was not that easy to change. Okay, I said that I just decided to change, but that's the most important part. But that's the decision is not going to take you where you want to go. But that's the first step. That's the first step. But then I remember 3 months in, Easter comes, and then I dropped off. I stopped working out. I don't know why. And for like 2 weeks, I stopped working out. And I was like, what the fuck is wrong with me? Am I going back to my old ways? And then I pushed myself to start working out again. I went out, I lifted some weights, I did some pull-ups. I tried at least to do some pull-ups. And then I pushed myself the second day, and the third day, and the fourth day. And from then on, it became a habit again. And that's the first time I discovered discipline. I know my will and, you know, uh, how much I wanted to change lasted 3 months. The motivation lasted 3 months. Most of the other people you see, motivation in them lasts for maybe a week or two or maybe a month. But I wanted to change so much that my motivation lasted for 3 months. It's kind of funny, but yeah. Then I started to work out again, and from then on, I didn't stop working out until today. Maybe some weeks, you know, here and there, but in my mind, I never stopped thinking about it, or doing some push ups or doing something, some lifting. I don't know. But this was my my story, let's say. But there's so much more into this story. So many more details that I want to share with you. Inside these 5 years of my transformation until today, I felt maybe most days, 90% of the time of my workouts, I didn't even want to go to the gym. I didn't even want to work out. But I went. I went there. I went to the gym and I worked out because I didn't see how I was feeling at that time. I always saw how I was going to feel when I saw my dream body in front of me. I had this mindset, and that's why the mindset is so important. Without having the right mindset, I wouldn't be able to do anything. I was going to last these 3 months, let's say, at the start, but then I wasn't going to continue without discovering discipline, without changing my mindset, without changing the way I thought at that time. And now I think that my mindset is so strong that I say that I want to do something and I do it like that. I say that I want to stay consistent and I do it. I say that I want to do this and I go and try to do it. At least try to do it. Even if I fail, I don't get discouraged. I failed so many times from that day until now that I'm no longer discouraged by any failure. And you shouldn't get discouraged by failures. You should be happy because there will be more work for you, and it will be harder for you to do it. And you will say to me now that why should I be happier that it's going to be harder for me? What the fuck am I? Do I want everything to be hard? Think of it like this. If it's so hard for you, it's going to be so hard for all the other people around you. And if you're able to push through it and just don't get discouraged by it and keep going, you're going to be the winner because all the other people are going to get discouraged by it. All the other people are going to fail, they are going to quit. It's not only hard for you, my man. It's hard for all the other people. And that's why having a fit body, having a six pack, having, this aesthetic physique is so, so nice to look at, and so, it's so valuable. We see it as something valuable. What brings value is rarity. And because it's rare that you see someone having, a shredded six pack. It's rare because nobody else is willing to do the work, to take the sacrifices in order to get that six pack. And that's why it's so valuable. Moral of the story: everyone fails. Everyone goes through that hard path. But those who win are those who push through the failures, are those who don't see the failures as discouragement, but they see them as encouragement to keep going because they're not where they want to be yet. Don't quit, bro. There's so much more into you. Try. And you will not lose. I guarantee that. Thank you so much for watching. If you want my help, someone who has already gone through everything, as you heard, the link will be down in the description and you can book a call and we will talk. And that's it. Thank you once again for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next one, boys. Peace.